Today we're going to talk about augmented six chords. Last time we talked about the Neapolitan six chord, and that gave more color and a little bit of tension, perhaps a little bit of a kick to the normal or expected progressions. So for example, we can be very happy with 1, 4, 5, 1. If we do 1 for Neapolitan chord and 1, it's more interesting, right? And we talked about last time that Neapolitan chord happens a lot in the first inversion. And you can have that. So it's a lot more adventurous way to have the cadence, I think. So there were two types of predominant chords. Number one, diatonic predominant chords, and we know that they all belong to the key 2, 4, and 1, 6, 4 cadential. They prepare the dominant within the key. And the chromatic predominant chords like the secondary dominants, 505 or 705, we did that at the beginning of the semester, and the Neapolitan 6 last week, and the augmented 6 today. These predominant chords prepare the dominant. Not only prepares the dominant, it's gonna intensify the dominant outside of the key. So it's a bit more adventurous way to have a phrase, and it'll often prolong and enhance the eventual cadence. So with that, today we move on to the augmented six chords. The augmented six chords are chromatic chords, and as we have seen, they are the chromatic predominant harmony that typically leads to 5, adding more color. Augmented six chords come in 3 different types: Italian 6, German 6, and French 6. All 3 types of augmented six chords are built on the lowered scale degree 6 in the major key. So that means that if we're in the key of C major, let me change the piano. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be the A, and you lower that by half step. So we have A flat. In the key of C, we have the lowered 6, which is A flat. Now the second step would be that you find the augmented 6 interval from the A flat. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be F, which is a major 6, but it has to be augmented 6. So we have F sharp. And depending on what you do in the middle, you can get either Italian 6 or German 6 or French 6. And we'll get into the spellings and resolutions and all the details in a minute. The Italian 6 sounds like this, resolving to dominant and then tonic. Now, German 6, French 6. Do you hear the difference? Italian, German, French, and do that. Okay, so let's build Italian and French and German 6 chords. Italian 6 is really the basic of the augmented 6 chords, and those steps will apply the same way for French 6 and the German 6. So let's say that we're in the key of C again, and the first step is to find the lowered 6th degree. So that'll be A flat. Second step is to find the augmented 6 interval. That's major 6, but we have to make the augmented, so we say F sharp. And step 3, you put the tonic in the middle, right here. Okay, so it sounds that. So going back to the minor theme, we actually have more use for it. Listen at the cadence. So right there we have, in the key of C, we have flat 6, A flat, C, E flat major chord. And then we have another major chord, flat 7, B flat, D, F. There, right? So we can now convert that into Italian 6. How would that sound like? Instead of that, you're going to hear there. So that will be the Italian 6. Now let's make the French 6. So the first 3 steps are exactly the same. Step 1, find the lowered 6th degree. Step 2, find the augmented 6th interval. Step 3, find the tonic. And the new step, add an augmented 4th above the root. So the root is A flat right now. So we have the tritone there, right? So we're going to put it right there. So now it sounds like this, and it sounds really intense, right? This is the most dissonant and most dense chord out of the 3 augmented 6 chords. It's because of those 2 guys, A flat to the D, it's the tritone, and then the C to the F sharp is another tritone. So when you have 2 tritones, it's gotta be very, very intense. So that's French 6. Now, German 6, again, exactly same step. Lower 6, augmented 6, tonic. Now the difference is that you put the perfect 5th above. So that's gotta be E flat. Sounds like this. So let's compare that again. Italian, French, German. So how did they resolve? Outward, A flat to G and F sharp to G. Right? And where do they go? Directly to 5 or using the key addition 6/4. So you could have 6/4, right? So something transformative thing happens for German 6 if you just hear it without the context. That actually sounds like dominant 7th, right? And indeed, if we spell it with the A flat, C, E flat, G flat instead of the F sharp. So like that. That will resolve to D flat major, right? So how did we go from the C major to the D flat major? If you remember the modulation, D flat major is not anywhere close to the C major, right? So in the Baroque period, C major would go to the G major or E minor, so 1 sharp away, or F major or D minor, 1 flat away, right? But here we have C major, and then that's 1 key F major, B flat, A flat. That's 5 keys away, right? So that's a distant key, and you can use German 6 chord in order to modulate the long distance super duper quick. So that'll be something like 20 hours of driving. You can make it into 2 hours of flying, something like that, right? So for example, in the Happy Birthday, I'm in the C major, and I arrive on the D flat major. Super duper quick, right? Same thing with the Take Me Out to the Ball Game. C major. We're at the church. Like that. So really, really useful chord to hop to the distant key. And the next class, we're going to talk about how to write the correct voicings, because with the German 6, it's easy to do the fifth, consecutive fifths, and we definitely want to avoid that. So we'll talk about the next time. And also with the German 6, it's better to go with the cadence of 6/4 and then 5 and then 1. So that will be the minor. That will be the major. So now I'm going to play the classical examples, and let's see if you can spot the augmented 6 chord. First one is Beethoven. So here we have diminished 2 resolution. Second measure, we have diminished 7, resolving to the C minor. Measure 3. So we have A flat in the key of C minor, and then C, and then E flat on the right hand, and F sharp. So we have German 6. The Chopin example. Sorry, I had to play much faster than it should be, but our purpose is to spot the augmented 6 chord. Did you find it? That one, right? So also in the C minor, so we have A flat and then C, D, F sharp, right? 2 tritones. Going right to the 5, 5, 7. Oops. Now, what do you think this is? Neapolitan, right? C, lower second. And then right to 5. All right. So now the third excerpt is a Schumann. So here, the key signature says B flat major or G, right? So let's see what it is. Right, clearly it's B flat major, which shows from the measure 3 for sure. Schumann wanted to make the beginning a lot more interesting and ambiguous. So G flat, that isn't that awfully similar to G minor, but he wanted to add more ambiguity to it. So he gives the augmented 6 at the beginning, and then go to cadential 6/4, and then arrive at the home key at measure 3, not at the beginning. I hope you enjoyed the colorful chords like the Neapolitan chords and augmented 6 chords today. When you improvise or compose and you find it a little bit plain, then you can incorporate those chords and make it a lot more interesting. See you next time.